What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on my channel. It's been a little while. It's been 4 months since my last upload where I said I was going to upload more. I keep saying it, but life gets in the way. I had technical issues and I sort of I edit using my phone, so I make the video, then I edit it on my phone. And I was having issues with it exporting and it wasn't working properly. And I'll be honest with you, I got a bit frustrated and just gave up. But if you see in this video, it's because I've figured it out, or I've got a new app, or whatever it is, because I don't really use my laptop at home for it. But the purpose of this video, I guess, is a catch up on my thoughts so far. I mean, since I made a video, we got relegated, and we're on a hunt for a manager and stuff. So I guess I'll give you my point of view. And to be honest with you, that made it hard to make videos because it was a bit of I resigned. I'm a bit of a glass half empty sort of guy sometimes, and I'd resigned to the fact that we were going down. I had no confidence with about 2 months left, I think, is when I started to sort of succumb to the fact that I thought we were going down. So it made it hard to make videos, especially when you got other things going on in life. But look, I'm back now, hopefully, because I'm excited for this championship season. Do I think we'll bounce back up? I don't know. I can make a video on that. I'll be honest with you, I don't think it's going to be as easy as people think. I don't think we'll drop like a stone, but I think it will be, it's going to be difficult. So my emotions have been all over the shop when it has come to this relegation. Obviously, first things first is I wanted Radrizzani gone. Obviously, like I think 99% of the people of our fan base. Glad he's left now. He is a massive reason why we went down. The fact he let Victor Orta get away with all the things that he done, the Augustin deal. You know, a lot of the signings, a lot of money wasted. You know, he was claiming he's put a lot of money into the club, and you know, on the surface it looks like he has spent a lot of money, but when you really sort of, I mean, you don't even have to dig very deep to see that it wasn't money from his pocket. It was money from deals that we had already put in place for Rafinha and Phillips and things like that. And yeah, it was a bit of a shambles, the whole thing, and I just couldn't wait for him to sell the club. I didn't know. I thought he was going to try and go around again and get back up and then sell the club for that 400 million or whatever it was. It was like touted originally. But look, it's all done and dusted now. I'm not going to look in the past. He's gone. Thank God. He's Sampdoria's problem now, and I guess that we now look forward to the appointments for manager. So since Radrizzani's left, the 49ers have looked at Stuart Webber from Norwich, and along with that Farker, which I actually don't mind that appointment. I think Farker would be a fantastic appointment. I'm on the side of he's got the experience with Norwich. But it's about how much investment he gets. You know, a lot of people are questioning his Premier League pedigree, which, look, there is a big question mark there, and I would probably agree to some extent. You know, but the one thing I don't agree with that I'm seeing online is that Norwich spent a lot of money in the Premier League. They spent 68 million. Now, it's a lot of money. I would love $68 million, but it's not a pound. But in terms of Premier League spend, that's not a lot of money. Not when you get 150 for just being in the league. So I would say that they've been up a few times and they've generally tried to get away with doing it on the cheap. If I'm honest, 68 million is not a lot. You can question the signings they made. I would agree that some of the signings, like the Sargent, the striker they had, probably not up to scratch. So that does come down to Webber a little bit. So that is my only concern, is where the money gets spent. But to be fair, 68 million isn't a lot, and I think we would spend more than that if we did go up. But that is a good year from now, so it's a video I'll make in 12 months when we go up back to the promised land. So talking appointments on manager, so Corberan, Farker and Parker. I think Parker is the bottom of the pile for me. I think he needs serious investment to go up. He's been with teams that have already got a very established, that sort of in between championship and, you know, Premier League, where the players are too good for the championship and they blitz it, but when they get to the Premier League, they're not quite good enough. Kind of like what Newcastle was when they bounced up with Rafa Benitez. It was like a lot of the players stuck around during relegation because they weren't good enough for the Premier League, so nobody wanted them. But then they went to the championship and they were way too good, you know. Your John Joe Shelby's and things like that. He was probably wanted a bit more. Sorry, I'm just switching up. I don't have something to hold my phone with. So I think Parker needs that sort of investment. Steven Gerrard, look, I loved him. I love him as a player. I don't think he's suitable for the job. Not right now, anyway. We're on a bit of a timeline where things need to happen pretty quick if we're going to go back up again. Parachute payments, you know, we've got a lot of stuff to pay for. I think the 49ers are worth quite a bit of money, but that's not to say they're going to invest heaps. You look at the Newcastle owners and they're throwing money at it, but they're being a bit smarter with their investments and their purchases. But I think the 49ers will be the same. I don't think they're going to. I think they'll make a statement this time round, and I think they need to. And I'll make a separate video on who I think should stay and go. But this video is just about manager appointments because I think that's what comes first. I'm concerned with the lack of links to players this transfer window, and I know until you get a manager in, you're not going to be linked, but you still, you know, it's more the outgoings I'm concerned with. There's little bits and pieces, but there's no statement of who is staying and who's going. And again, I know that you need a manager, he needs to look at them, but the longer we leave it, the less time we have to move some of the crap out of the club. Now, the good majority of them are crap. So, and I guess that's another video again, talking about who I would keep and who I would sell. But I'm telling you, a majority is sell. I'm not big on Patrick Bamford. I've come on here before many a time and said that I don't think he's good enough. I've seen articles where they're saying Leeds United will keep Bamford and he'll, you know, do well in the championship. You got to remember, last time he was in the championship, he only scored 14 goals, and he was pivotal of how Bielsa played, but we don't have Bielsa anymore. He then had a fantastic Premier League season, not taking anything away from that, but since we've had him, he's had one good season. I'm sorry, I don't want to sound negative towards him. He seems like a lovely bloke, but I'm talking now in the championship, we need a striker that's going to bang away 20 plus goals. I don't think Bamford's that guy. I think his confidence is shot. I think we've ripped into him towards the end there. I mean, you know, to be fair, it's not all down to him, the performances, but he missed some serious chances towards the end there. That Leicester one it comes to mind, and that was absolutely shocking. But anyway, it's not about Bamford. This is about the managers. So I think Parker needs serious investment if he's going to be our manager. I think we will be turning over players, but I think he needs an already stable squad. This is a rebuild. This isn't hey, we're going to keep all these players and add one or two. This is a good majority of these guys go. I think there's going to be some good young players there, but we need somebody that's going to be like a bit of a Bielsa, someone who can work with youngsters and make them sort of, you know, work to the level that we're going to be at. My next one would be Corberan out of the three. So it's Parker, then Corberan. I like Corberan, but he's got Huddersfield and West Brom to playoff spots. Like, he's done quite well with them. Problem is he hasn't got them up. Now, is Leeds a different beast in the championship? Probably. Will he have the investment and the although West Brom sort of had that, but I think it's a little bit of a different scenario, especially than Huddersfield. So he's got the pedigree to get us to the championship. My only problem is getting over the finish line. That's my only question mark. But he's got a good philosophy. He can make players perform above their standard, which is what Bielsa did. You know, like I said, Huddersfield getting them into the playoffs is no mean feat. So I think Colburn wouldn't be a bad appointment, but I think someone like Farker is the proven one. He's done it twice. I think he didn't have a serious investment the first time. Second time, he probably had again those championship players that were too good for the championship, but not good enough for the Prem. You know, your Cantwells and things like that. Although Cantwell arguably was Premier League quality, but a lot of them weren't. So I think he can do a bit more with the players we have if there's not a mass exodus. But I think there will be, and I think we need it. I think we need to sell all these players and bring in players that we actually we need a full rebuild. We need to get rid of this mentality. My issue around the players is I think they're mentally fragile. I think they're very weak-minded. I think when the going gets tough, they bottle it. I think it's been a problem for actually quite a while, and this same set of players had issues even in the championship. And I know we went up, but except for the COVID break, we were starting to look a little bit shaky. And the break, I remember saying at the time to my old man, the break is either going to make or break us, that COVID break. To be fair, we went up, and we went up as champions, and that's fine. But the year before, we did bottle it. You know, the year before was shocking. Then we went up, and that was fantastic, and we had a great season. And then ever since then, it's like we're riding on a high. Again, high confidence, high times. The minute it got difficult, a lot of these players just didn't show up. And Patrick Bamford is a perfect example of that, and he's probably a more extreme case, but very weak mentality. So with that, I think we need a mass clean out of players, and we need to bring ones in of the mould of Farker, because I think Farker's going to be the one. We missed out on Iriola. I think he's gone to Bournemouth from the sound of it. So, yeah. That's my pick. I think Farker's the one. I'm pretty happy with that one. Let me know in the comment section below. Again, I'm sorry that I missed a couple of weeks. But yeah, I'll see you in the next video, and peace.